you've got a little right button, which means you can click and you can share. I'll come back to the share box in a second or two. Also, you've got the option at the top to enter into other apps. And you also have got the search box. So if you click in, it automatically goes to explore and you can search. Just go back to bring it back. So that's really the initial orientation. So let's go a little deeper then into the share box. So let's say you've got an image you want to share. You click on the image icon and that brings up either images that you've got already to rock and roll, which will come from your photos, or you can click on upload a photo, choose one from your desktop, and then when you're ready you click done. Or you could click the link box, just drop a link in there. Could be a YouTube link, could be a blog link, whatever you want. Or you could, for instance, share your location, which I'm not going to do because I'm at home. I don't really want you popping over and visiting me. So you've got the options there. I don't know, you can if you want. But the idea is then you would type your message and you would choose who you want to share it to. Just before we get there, let me show you in the upper right, we've still got the disable comments, disable reshares if you want to do either of those two options. Right then, so you've got your message ready to rock and roll. You've got to choose the who. Now, the first thing is that you've got various different defaults that will appear in here for you. And public has got the greatest reach, and then these others are either communities or collections. We're going to talk more about that in a moment. But if you click on see more, you can be able to choose other collections, for instance, or other communities, or you could search, and you could search, for instance, for a person. So you can go in and you can select that person. That will then enter them one, or you could have multiple people there. Now, as you can see, things are changing. Now, you could still have your circles if you wanted to. You can still notify your circles. But the real thinking is very much around collections and communities moving forward. Okay, so you've got the share box. You choose who you want to share it to. And then when you're ready, you will click on post. If you're looking for speed as well, just realize you've got a little photo icon, and instead of clicking in and then looking at the add-in of image, you can just click on the photo and photo icon, and that means that it brings up that box straight away. Let's now look at sharing. So taking a post, and you see the example here, you could, if you want to do, you can +1. Do that. We could click into comment, and that will allow us to comment, and we stay in this case in the stream. Or you could click on share, and it brings up these options. Now this is something which I think is very cool. You could share to Google+, you can copy the link, or you could share to these other networks as well. Now before we do that, I just want to show you something in here. So if I click on the timestamp as it was, that brings it to its unique URL, which you see at the top of the page. And also if you click in, then you've got the options there. And if you click on the view activity, it will show you who has commented, who has shared, who has +1, and you scroll down those. You can also click in on somebody's face and go through to the profile, but we'll come to that in a second. And in the upper right on a post, you can also mute, which means you won't receive notifications again if you've commented on it, and you can report. Now, I mentioned about clicking on the face, so let's do that, and that goes through to the person or the page's profile. And as you can see here, you've got one click to follow now. So you can go following, and if you click again, it will bring up a box that will then give me the options to add to, for instance, my circles. Click there, and that's that done. Then there's a few little dots there. You click there, you could block the profile, mute the profile, or you could report. And on someone's profile, you can click on the information, and you can see the people that have already added, as well as links and the other about information. Next, let's come across and look first at collections. So there's 3 different tabs here. One's featured, one is followed, and one is yours. So featured are collections featured by Google. And if you see something you like, you can dive into it, or you can take a look, and you can, for instance, +1 a post, or you can share a post. And if you've got comments available, you could comment as well. But you can also click to follow that particular collection. Once you follow a collection, if you click on the dots, you'll be able to turn notifications on. And you can even click in and share the collection itself on the upper right. And if it's somebody else's collection, you could report that collection if you needed to. But then let's come across to followed is very similar as the ones you've already followed. But coming across then to yours, you can see whatever collections you created, and you can also click in and create a collection. Just add in a name, choose the visibility, knowing you can't change this after, and choose a tagline, and then you click create, and then you can add an image and so on. But once you've created them, what you'll get is something that looks a little bit like this, and you can click in on the upper right and you can edit collection. You can see how many followers there are, you can delete the collection, or you can get help. I'm just going to click in edit the collection here so you can see how it looks. If you click on the photo icon, that will change, well, give the option to change that background. The next section down, you can see I've chosen it's yellow there, but you can change that there. Visibility, you've got that. And then the last setting is people that have you in circles automatically follow this collection. If you're looking to build a following on your collections, then you keep that on like that. And then when you're ready, either save, or if you haven't made changes, you can click out. Next, let's come across to communities. So there's two types of communities with two subtypes underneath. So if you click, you see here you've got public, which means that it's visible to anybody. But you've got an option here which is people have to ask to join, do that, or they don't. So if you're looking at creating them, you have a choice whether you have the door open or shut on a public community. But the other type is a private community, and these are either visible in search or they are hidden and totally private. Once you name the community, you save done, and then you can add a picture to it and guidelines and so on. But let me just show you what it looks like. Let's take you into something I call my Google Plus resource library. So let's click into one I created earlier. This is a private community. You can't change from public to private after the event, so know that that's the main choice you've got to make. If you then come to the upper right of that image, you can go to community settings, and that will allow you to change, for instance, whether or not you see the content in your stream, like none, or whether you get notified about new posts when they get added. And also you can click to share that particular community. You can invite people, and you do that. And then you can click down and you can see the categories that the posts are in. Now, this is, as I say, this is a private community, so there's only a few members. And I kind of use those differently to public communities. So let's now come across to Plus Your Business as the public community. Let me click on in. And you can see here, you've got the settings here. You've got community settings, edit community, manage members. Community settings, post show in the stream, community notifications, same principle there. And click in here, edit community. Have a look. Now, this is where you can change, for instance, the door being open or closed. You can ask people to I have this so that people have to ask to join, and then you can change your guidelines if you want to in here. You can also change the image just by clicking on the image icon. Now, the other one is just a little eye. Now, the eye is the community description that anyone will see when they are looking at it. So this isn't editable. You're going to have to go into the little tab there, edit the community, and then you can change it there if you wanted to. Taking a quick look at managing members, if you click and then go manage members, then it will bring up a list of the members, and you can click to either ban or remove somebody from the community. You can also click on the drop down and it will show the moderators, people waiting for approval, those that you've invited and those you've banned. Now, coming back to the community section, when you click in search, it brings up explore, because you've got communities and you've got collections and people and pages and all of this there ready for you if you surface. So if you put in business, for instance, it will bring up a list of potential things like pages or collections or communities that you may be looking for. If you hit reply, it will then bring up the options of collections and communities, people and pages and so on. So it's very much a streamlined search. Next, let's come across to profile. And let's look at the different bits of the profile. So you've got your cover photo, you've got your profile picture, you've got your number of followers. And if you want to edit any of that, you've got a couple of options. The first one is edit profile, and you can click in and you see a little photo or camera icon, you can click there and then change either your cover photo or your profile pic. You can do that. You can change the strap line, and you can customize the profile to show the collections you follow, the communities you belong to, all in there. Now, that's very much the visual side of it. If you come to the little eye, you've got the visual side in About Me as well, which is shown up across Drive and Photos and Google+. So this is kind of a new profile as well. And this is where you edit your personal contacts. And for instance, if you look at work contact info, who do you want to be able to see that? Well, if you have a public, then it would be everybody, or you can change who sees it using those options. And that's the same right down your profile, and that's where you can edit your About section. Jumping back to your Google Plus profile itself and going down, you can see my interests, and I've got collections that are at the top, and we've got 4 that are showing, and then I've got owned collections. So I've got all of these collections that I've been working on, and then I've got the communities as well that I want to show. So, and that relates to the page that we just saw, which was back in here. Well, if I click on Edit Profile, so that relates to there as to what gets displayed. Now, the posts themselves should be pretty straightforward, but let's say that you want to move one to a collection. You need to click in, so you're going to have to go, and then it will have its own unique URL, and then from there you click on, for instance, Move Post to Collection, and you can then choose a collection and go from there. Also, if you click on the post within a collection, you can move them back out. Whilst we're there, click on the little 3 dots and you'll be able to delete the post. You could edit it, and that will just allow you to do, for instance, formatting, which is still asterisk, will make it bold, and underscore will make it italics, and a strike through will make it, hopefully, like that. If I do that, we can, yes, you can see that the formatting still very much works there on this new version, and then I just delete and remove that. And whilst we're here, you've also got the ability to disable comments, disable reshares too. Looking now at the comments on a post, you can click and then click again to add a +1. You can also click and see who +1'd it. That's going to bring up a box that will show you that. If it's your post itself and they're your comments, essentially, or people on your post, you can click and you can delete a comment if you wanted to, or you could report it. Know that anytime you see a hyperlink like this, if you click it, that's either going to take you into, for instance, a collection like this, or it could take you to a community if that's where the post originally came from. Jumping back to my profile, just so you know that we've still got that little draw icon that will bring up the box there for when you want to share a new post. Okay, let's come across then to people, and this is where you're going to find people. If you go to that tab, you're also going to be able to see who you're following, and you're going to have your followers. Now, it's the following one that you're probably most interested in. This is where your circles are. And if you click in and you see circle settings, if I can say it, circle settings, or you can delete the circle. So click in to circle settings, and this will bring up the name of the circle. You can then show the amount of posts that you want in your stream, as well as whether you get notified on the posts, or whether you include them in your circles if you share to that particular setting. And that's going to be the same for all of the circles that you have. On the note of circles, let's come across to circle settings. And if you scroll down and you feel at the moment you're missing your circles that are shown up on the side, you can come to Advanced Settings, Enable Circle Streaming Navigation, click that, and you'll see the circle streams appear here with a selection of the circles there. Now, whilst we're in settings, let's just dive back to the top. This is where really you customize your experience, and I just recommend that you go through little by little and either check or uncheck, or slide or unslide now, the boxes. And the one that generally a lot of people have unchecked is showing their community posts on their profile, so remember to have a look at that. And also then managing your notifications and whatever you want to do and whatever you want to know about by email or phone. You can start to dive in and make that work for you. Last couple of things for now. If you click on send feedback, you can send feedback to the Google team. And if you click on your face in the upper right, you're going to be able to, for instance, visit your Google Plus profile, but also go to any pages you manage and enter into those. And if you click on the notifications, then just as you had before, you'll be able to click in and then, for instance, +1 comment or share directly from there. There we have a very quick but hopefully detailed enough tour to get you flying on the new Google+. I'm Martin Shevington. Please subscribe to the Plus Your Business YouTube channel and look forward to seeing you in the community.